Come in.
Hello, Mr. Smith.
Hi there.
I'm Kara Wilson with NetSuite Corporation.
I'm Shane. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for the invitation to come here to speak with you
You
today.
bet. Please have a seat.
Just before we begin, here's my business card, and I was wondering if I could have yours.
You betcha.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I went to my cousin's wedding, and she had your desserts, and they're awesome desserts, so just congratulations on having such a good product.
Oh, thank you. Good. That's what we like to hear.
Really enjoyed it. So I'm just wanting to confirm before we start that we have 20 minutes. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, great. I work with many small to medium-sized business owners like yourself, Mr. Smith, and I've been able to see a consistent double-digit sales growth as well as increasing customer satisfaction. Is that something that you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I'd certainly be interested in that.
Well, great. Then let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
I've been looking at your website and kind of trying to figure out some stuff about you and your business, and so I realized that you are definitely in a growth mode, that you have 5 kitchens now and are looking to go to 3 more and kind of expand in that. Mm-hmm. And I also kind of could figure out that you have 4 main customers, and so I just want to know if I could ask you a couple more questions about that and get a little bit more understanding about your situation.
Sure.
Well, great. Just to start off, I was kind of wanting to know a little bit about how you make decisions as far as maybe technology sales. What is the process that you go through?
Okay. As the business owner, mm-hmm. All of those decisions come through me. I've got an outside consultant that I like to bring in periodically, kind of help make sure our business is on the right track, but I make the final call on those types of things.
Okay. Is he available to come and speak with us today?
Actually, no, he's not available today, but that's okay. I'm the one that makes the call here, so I can take a look at it.
Is there anybody else that you normally run things through?
My wife, but she never agrees with me anyway, so I'm not going to bring her in here.
Okay, great. And is that something that, if I could show you that it's a 9 or a 10 on a scale of 10, is that something that could be made today?
Possibly.
Okay, great.
Let's see what you have to say.
Well, then let's just ask them questions and figure out what your business is like.
Okay.
Just kind of to get an understanding, do you have any prior experience or knowledge of NetSuite or any other customer contact?
I am not familiar with NetSuite. What we use right now is the ACT system.
Okay.
A little bit about our company. We've got 7 employees.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned, I like that you've done your homework there. You mentioned 4 customer types, which is
Mm-hmm.
exactly right. Those consist of catering companies, event planners, wedding planners, and we're trying to get into the individual segment as well.
Okay.
And one of the challenges that we've run into is with ACT, it's a great way for us to keep track of our customers. Mm-hmm. Well, if my salespeople are doing their job, our customer base is always growing.
Definitely.
And the majority of our business is outbound, 75% of it. So that's what separates us, is we're going out to bring that business in the door. Now, once we establish that relationship, 80% of that commerce is online driven, e-commerce.
80% is online?
Right. It's kind of piecemeal right now, though. So we have a little bit, we have, our QuickBooks, then we have ACT, and then with e-commerce, we've kind of had some challenges there. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, our situation.
So you're just kind of having trouble with the online, just getting it integrated with your QuickBooks and shipping and all of that. Is that kind of a problem?
I really see 2 distinct challenges. I see product distribution as a challenge, growing our customer base. And I also see e-commerce as a challenge, as we're looking to expand to 3 more locations by the end of the year. And as our customer base grows, we're opening up more kitchens. We're going to have more customers. We have to make sure that our product is being, is aligned correctly, which we've had some challenges there.
Okay. Is e-commerce something you're looking to grow in the future? Okay.
I mean, we're having trouble keeping up with what we have right now, but we are definitely in a growth mode. So,
yeah. Well, great. So out of your 4 customers, what do you think your most profitable, important customer to you is?
That would be our catering companies.
Okay. And what do you think maybe a good figure, dollar amount annually that you get from a good caterer relationship?
We have 20 caterers now.
Okay.
And we, on average, see 5 new contracts or locations per caterer. That's just strictly on average. But each of those accounts generates, I would say, around $5,000 in revenue. So one account, on average, could be around $25,000, a year.
Yearly. Okay.
It's about 25% of the size of our overall volume.
Okay. So those are really important customers.
Absolutely.
To you. Okay. So just kind of wanted to understand a little bit about what challenges or constraints that you might have with your caterers, that those are some people that are really important to you, keeping that relationship. And so as far as growing, what are some challenges that you think you might face?
As a matter of fact, it's funny you ask that, because that's one of the biggest things that's on my radar right now, and really one of the reasons I wanted to see what's out there. As a matter of fact, we recently lost one of our largest contracts. One of our contracts in Houston, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Recently, we had a large order that just got lost in the mail.
Wow.
So we have one of our larger caterers in Houston, which is really where some of our largest customer base is,
Right.
and that order got lost. And
Yeah.
so we had a caterer there. It was a wedding, so you can imagine the nightmare that was, and the cake wasn't there. So not only did we lose them, we lost that entire contract, and word of mouth being our biggest, our biggest salesperson, that's not the kind of PR that you want to see.
Right.
So e-commerce is really presented, that's a challenge. As we grow, we got to keep up with it all, and I don't know that it's really being done just with ACT.
So you think maybe your biggest problem is just being error-free, like getting it done right the first time? That's really important.
I don't know that that's our biggest problem.
Okay.
In this case, having this occur once is one time too many.
Okay.
I think our biggest challenge that we face to growing my business the way that I want to grow it is taking a look at that e-commerce piece on the one end. It's really a multi-headed issue. You've got your e-commerce piece, and then how do I keep track of where my salespeople are going?
Right.
What are they doing?
Okay.
And that kind of thing, because they're not telling me the truth. You know how salespeople are. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's kind of the challenge.
Okay. So like you said, losing that caterer was a big deal to you. So what happens when you lose a customer like that? What is a dollar amount maybe on losing a big caterer?
That was a big one. I would say the monetary loss on that was about $15,000.
Wow. So what is the impact to your business if that continues to happen? Is that just word of mouth that's going to continue to hinder your growth?
I think the ultimate impact, if that were to continue, is I would be bankrupt, which certainly that's not where I want to be.
Right.
Really, what we're looking to do, as I said, is continue to grow. And the challenges are the product placement and the product distribution. And right now we're poised for that growth.
Right.
But before we really take that step with those three larger, I mean, we're planning on rolling those out. They're brick and mortar locations. It's already in the works. But this is something that we need to get a hold of in process. Because we can't afford to have that happen.
Right,
again.
Understandably. So if I could show you how NetSuite's going to help you be able to overcome these problems and overcome just all of the e-commerce headaches that you're seeing and help you not lose accounts along the way, would that be interesting to look at?
Sure, it would be.
Well, great. Before we go on, I'm sure you must have some questions.
I'd really like to hear a little bit more about what it is. I'm not familiar with it. Is it a larger company? I mean, I've talked to Salesforce.com. I know a little bit about them. ACT, obviously. NetSuite, I really don't know much about.
Yeah, definitely understandable that you'd want to know a little bit about the company. And we're actually just about to look at some of the how, what, and why of NetSuite and what that is. And so, do you mind if we look at that right now?
No, by all means.
Well, great. Like I said, I just want to look a little bit at the what and why of NetSuite and why it works. But then we'll look at how its capabilities are going to be a strategic fit for your business.
Okay.
So, just to start off, excuse me. As you can see here, that NetSuite is right now the #1 on-demand product, and it is really helpful because it's a one integrated system that it's going to put together your Salesforce automation with your accounting, with your e-commerce, and so you're able to see a transparent view of your entire business, and so you're able to make better decisions. You're able to see what's going on in each of your locations. It's hard being spread apart, I can imagine, making sure communication and all of that is together. So do you see how maybe the synergistic effect is going to be helpful to your business, having everything integrated?
So it does combine, these components together. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yes, it does.
No, I do see value in that, absolutely.
Great. Secondly, another advantage that it really helps is it lets you see your customer in a 360-degree view. It lets you see your customer from a lead when you very first meet them to repurchase, and takes you all through each step so that you have more information on your customer and that so you're able to better manage. Do you see how that could also be something that's going to help you just manage your business?
So this would be on the sales side. If my salespeople are going out and they're identifying, here's our suspect, walking all the way through the process from offering the quote, placing the order, how are we servicing, repurchasing?
Yes, sir.
That'd be a way to keep track of that. I like that element of it.
Great, and this is something that I think is really going to be big for you. It's just their e-commerce site is really integrated with the rest of your business, and it has another 360-degree view of the site so that you're able to have a website. Their website's kind of similar to Amazon.com like experience, where it's really easy for people looking on it to see what's on your site and go through each thing. And so it makes it easy for people to get on your site, get the information they need. I noticed on your website now that to order stuff that it's just contact us and we'll take orders type of thing. So I could see how that could maybe get confusing and orders get lost if it's just being written down, or there's definitely room for human error there. And so with this, it's going to allow you to, as soon as you get an order, go straight into your inventory and your kitchens and into shipping even. And so you're able to ship when it comes in through your website so that you won't get stuff lost in the mail. And so I feel like that's something that's really going to be important for just from what you've said.
Okay, so as far as the e-commerce piece, utilizing the website, we can see the web store, track where our product is being shipped, right through to the number crunching. I like this, identify, upsell, and cross-sell. That would definitely address, I think, the product and placement situation.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Great. Well, then let's look a little bit about how NetSuite's going to help you specifically.
Okay.
This is a dashboard. Do you have any experience with a dashboard, digital dashboard?
Somewhat.
Okay.
But
Well, it's very similar to a car dashboard. It lets you see an overview of exactly what's going on in your business. Like in a car, you can know how fast you're going, what the temperature is. So it's kind of like that for your business. It lets you see exactly what's going on in different areas. It's also completely customizable, so you're able to set up what's specifically important for you. And so one of the things that you had said was just kind of integrating all those different pieces into one so that you're able to get everything integrated, one integrated system that's going to allow you to be managing your business better. So one of the things that are really helpful on the dashboard is the key performance indicators, which allows you to see specifically up to the minute different indicators that you set up. Is there currently any indicator that you're using for catering on a either weekly, monthly, daily basis?
Well, with ACT, we use that tool to kind of track the process, but it's not quite this sophisticated. Which, you know, a question, Kara, that really comes to mind here is, you know, in a high-level overview, you know, I mean, I'm a chef. This looks fairly complicated, and if I'm confused by it, my salespeople are really going to be confused by it. I mean, is there some kind of training or a way to, I guess, dumb it down for those of us that don't crunch the numbers on a daily basis?
That's definitely an understandable concern. Technology can be a little bit standoffish if you're not used to using it all the time, but I will come and help you. I'll have a training day where I can meet with all of your different people and we can set it up so it's really easy to use. All my clients that I have say ease of use is something that they really appreciate about the product because it is really easy to pick up on and you're able to see exactly what you need to see. So does that kind of answer your concern?
It does. Who else uses this? I mean, what customers do you have that are in this industry that use this type of product?
Well, I worked with Wonderful Desserts down in Georgia, and we just set that up a couple weeks ago, and
really,
they've been able to see, just even in these last couple of months that they've had it set up, been able to see tremendous improvement in just their manageability.
That's where our hub is based, is in Atlanta. I'm familiar with Wonderful. They're one of our bigger competitors down there. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. I mean, that's nice to know that somebody else that, I mean, they're, like I said, one of our competitors. And, and, I mean, has it worked for them? What has their experience been?
Yeah, another really good question. They have, like I said, they've seen a lot of really big improvements. And so, let's just take a look a little bit at this. Like, there's also, it helps you, help you with administrative tasks. It helps you see exactly what needs to be done. So do you see how this is going to help you be able to integrate all of your business needs into one system that's going to allow you to manage well?
How do I track my salespeople, though? You said something about that, and I get the integration. So to answer your question, yes, I do see that. But as far as tracking what my salespeople are doing, and things like a closing ratio, or, I mean, is there a way to do that with this gadget?
Yeah, another really good question. You actually can set that up as a key performance indicator, and so you can see exactly how many they're closing, what they closed last month if you want to, exactly how much they are on quota. So does that answer your question?
Oh, wow. So I can see, yes, it does. So as I can see this month versus same last month, I can analyze volume trends. I can see how we did this month versus this time last year, and I can see where the revenue schemes are. Interesting. I like that.
Well, great. Well, let's take a look at some numbers, and I think you're going to be pleased.
Okay.
Here we go. So, can I ask you what your roughly annual current sales are?
Right now, our goal is to be at over $1 million in annual revenue. Right now, we're at about 3/4 of, so $750,000.
Great. One of our customers that we work with, like I said, many of my customers see double-digit sales growth. That's something that's very across the board. But they said that since using NetSuite, their sales have gone up 38%, and he attributes a great deal of that to the growth of NetSuite. And so that's just one client. It goes anywhere, like I said. A conservative number, I think, is probably 30%. We've had people go all the way up to 75%, 100% growth in just enabling NetSuite. And so I think a conservative number is about 20% there. So you can see that your increase in revenue is going to be $150,000. Do you think is it safe to assume that your gross profit margin is 50%?
It's actually about 60.
Okay, great. So you can see that your projected gain there is going to be $90,000 with the implementation of NetSuite. You said before that you have 7 employees right now, and I would recommend yourself also being on it. So I would recommend 8 users being on the system, which would be a total investment of $12,000 roughly. But as you can see, that your net value there is going to be $77,000+ with the implementation of NetSuite. And if you kind of compare that a little bit to if you said you lost a big company, that's a big account, that's $15,000. So you can see that even just implementing NetSuite, that this is going to pay for that loss by keeping your customers. So does that meet your expectations for investment?
I mean, the numbers on the page look good. About $1,000 a month is what it breaks down to. I mean, I can see the value proposition there, and I like how it combines it all together.
Great.
And I like that it helps me keep track of my salespeople.
Yeah. Well, imagine what this is going to do for you when you're able to get that word of mouth out there that's positive, and you're able to expand into these new markets and just really grow leaps and bounds really with this thing. So what we need to do to get this implemented today is we need to do 3 things. I need to get a contract signed for the licensing agreement. I need to get the check from you for the $12,000, and I want to set up a training day, like I said before, where I can come in and just meet with you and your people and work individually to get it set up for you. So here is the contract for the 8 users. And so I just need you to sign that there.
Okay, so what you're wanting from me right now is $12,000. Okay,
Yes, sir.
I get that. Let's talk for a second about the training aspect of it, because I mentioned there, that's a big concern.
Yes, sir.
I see, you've done a good job of establishing the value component there, but as far as training my people, I mean, how do we go about doing that?
Right. Yes, sir. It's definitely something that I want to be working with you on. That's really important to me to make sure that you can use it, because if software is only as good as the people that can use it. And so I want to make sure that you're going to be able to understand what's going on, that your people are going to be able to use it, that your salespeople, people in the kitchens are going to be able to use it effectively. And so how this will kind of work is we can meet up a training day for the central office here, because is there any way your people could come in from the 5 locations to meet in one location?
I mean, we're talking about 5 different states.
Right.
That's going to be pricey, plus, that sunk cost in addition to this investment. Do you have multiple locations where we could kind of synchronize, or maybe like a webinar type deal?
Yes. That is something that we definitely can do. We have different reps in the different states that can meet with your people there one-on-one. So I can meet with you here and the people that you have in Atlanta, and we can kind of set up that training and get it all figured out for you. And so you can really see that it's something that's easy to use. Most of my clients repeatedly have had ease of use as something that is really important to them. So does that answer your question?
It does answer my question.
Okay. So are we good with the contract? We just need to get that signed?
I just don't know that I want to buy 8 of them right now.
Okay.
Is there a way to do like a trial period of some kind? I see a lot of things I like, but before I reach for the checkbook with an investment of that size, I'd like to kind of look at the various components. I mean, there's a lot of data there. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely.
So how could I go about kind of doing a little bit of research on that, kind of try it before I buy it type of deal? Is that a possibility, or? Another
really good question. We don't actually have a trial period. I think it's important to have all 7 of your sales reps on it, and yourself as well. That's definitely, those 8 are definitely important. Is there anything, so do you see how the total investment is going to be covered by just helping you save one big account by not having errors and getting everything done correctly? And your e-commerce is going to grow because you're able to have a website that allows people to get things done efficiently. So do you see how, even though that might seem like a large number, how that's going to help you?
I mean, in theory, absolutely. I think you've done a great job of establishing that. My biggest concern, unfortunately, is with the 7 folks I have, integrating something like this across those multiple things. So let's do this. I'd like to schedule a time to have my consultant come in.
Okay.
Would you be able to stop back by again?
Yeah, that would be
I really do see the value in this, Carrie. I like what you had to say.
Okay.
I'd like to get him involved in it too, just because in light of looking at this, it's something that I'd like to
Well,
that I'll likely move forward with. I just want to
let's
bring
set up a
somebody else
meeting,
in.
and that would be great.
Okay.
Meeting, wonderful.
Fantastic. Great job.
Thanks.
I like how you tied all that back in as far as the training and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, very nice. I've been on the other